the Tuileries Palace, a building that no longer exists. The site today. Today, the Jardin des Tuileries stretches west from the Louvre toward Place de la Concorde. It is one of the oldest formal gardens in Paris, redesigned in the 17th century by André Le Nôtre, the same landscape architect who worked at Versailles. The open space in the centre of the garden is unusually wide. This is not accidental. Until the late 19th century, this space was occupied by a large royal palace, the Tuileries, which stood directly between the Louvre and the garden. The palace was approximately 260 metres long. Its removal created the uninterrupted perspective that now defines central Paris. Construction and purpose. The Tuileries Palace was commissioned in 1564 by Catherine de' Medici. It was built on the site of former tile factories, Tuileries in French, which gave the palace its name. Originally, it stood outside the medieval walls of Paris. At the time, the Louvre was still a fortress, and the Tuileries represented a shift toward more open, modern royal residences. The design evolved over time. Different architects contributed across decades, resulting in a structure that combined Renaissance and later classical elements. By the 17th century, the palace was physically connected to the Louvre, forming a continuous royal complex. A political residence. For more than 200 years, the Tuileries Palace was one of the main centres of political power in France. Louis XIV lived there briefly as a child. During the French Revolution, the royal family was moved to the Tuileries and held there under surveillance. It later became the residence of Napoleon Bonaparte, who ruled from the palace as first consul and then as emperor. Successive regimes, monarchies, empires, and governments all used the building. Unlike Versailles, which was removed from the city, the Tuileries was embedded in Paris. This made it both symbolically and physically central to power. Destruction in 1871. On May 23, 1871, during the final days of the Paris Commune, the Tuileries Palace was set on fire. The fire burned for nearly 2 days. Large parts of the interior were destroyed, including ceremonial halls and state apartments. However, the outer walls remained standing. Photographs taken afterward show a structure that was heavily damaged, but still structurally present. For more than a decade, the ruins remained in place in the centre of Paris. Why it was not rebuilt. After the fire, restoration was considered. Architectural plans and documentation still existed, and reconstruction was technically possible. However, the political context had changed. By the 1870s, France had established the Third Republic. The Tuileries Palace was strongly associated with monarchy and imperial rule. Rebuilding it would have meant restoring a symbol that no longer aligned with the current government. In 1883, the decision was made to demolish the remaining structure. The materials were sold and parts of the palace were reused elsewhere. The impact on Paris. The removal of the Tuileries Palace permanently altered the layout of Paris. It created a continuous visual axis from the Louvre through the Tuileries Garden, across Place de la Concorde, and toward the Champs-Élysées. This alignment is now one of the defining features of the city. Without the demolition, this perspective would not exist. What appears today as open space is the result of a deliberate architectural subtraction. What remains? No visible part of the Tuileries Palace remains on the site. However, its footprint is still documented in historical plans and maps. Some architectural elements were preserved and relocated. Fragments of the palace can still be found in other parts of France. The absence of the building is not due to collapse or gradual decay. It is the result of a specific decision made in a specific political context at a specific moment in time.